up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's gonna be my horror Blu-ray DVD update for October 23rd, 2012. So I've got 10 new movies to show you, 9 DVDs and 1 on Blu-ray, and I'll also have a bonus at the end. That's not horror related, but I decided to throw it in this week. These films sort of a mishmash, what am I trying to say? Some sequels, some slashers, some zombies, some paranormal stuff, some vampires, just a variety of movies, all from the sort of late 2000s. So let's get straight on with it. Up first, we have 28 Weeks Later from 2007, the sequel to 28 Days Later, of course. It came out in 2003 and was directed by Danny Boyle. Now, I love that movie. It's one of my favorite sort of horror movies of the past decade. The whole viral infection zombie take and the London setting, I thought it was great. As for the sequel, I saw it in the theaters when it came out. I didn't think as good as the first one, but still pretty good. And I didn't think about picking up until now. I thought Robert Carlyle was good, and I really liked Imogen Poots, who's in this film, sort of a good-looking young actress, who I found very interesting in this movie. I'm surprised she didn't go on to do more things after this, because I thought she was good in this movie. But there you have it, 28 Weeks Later. Okay, up next, we have 30 Days of Night from 2007. Again, another movie I saw in the theater and enjoyed it at the time, but didn't really think much about it after that. I liked Melissa George a lot, and Josh Hartnett was pretty good. I loved the setting. I thought the contrast of the blood and the snow, the snowy setting. I believe it's set in Canada or Alaska, something like that. But a cool vampire film with lots of blood, and it was a great contrast to the snow. I know a lot of people like this movie, and I've never seen the sequel, which I hear is terrible. Okay, moving on, a total blind buy, but I have to blame all you guys on YouTube, because I've seen you talk about this movie in the horror updates or just in horror collections, and I've always kind of wanted to check it out because of it. And that is Dead Snow from 2009, Norwegian film. And how can you go wrong with Nazi zombies? I mean, definitely looking forward to watching this. I hear it's loads of fun. It's going to be part of my 31 Days of Horror, so I'll be watching this probably early next week, the last couple days of October. One of those days I will be watching Dead Snow. Okay, moving on to the Solitary Blu-ray, another blind buy, again because of my friends here on YouTube, the horror community and so on, and that is Frozen from 2010. I see it's also listed as a thriller, so I'm not sure if it's a horror thriller combo sort of, but I'm guessing sort of like Open Water film I also want to pick up, about some people who go skiing or snowboarding and get stuck up on the lift up in the mountains. That's what I hear anyway, by the director of Hatchet, which I'll get to in a second, but that is Frozen from 2010. Like I said, I also picked up Hatchet from 2006. Now, I've never seen this film either. It's going to be part of my 31 Days of Horror, but I've heard lots of people talk about it. Also the sequel, which I hear is terrible. That's what everybody tells me. But definitely looking forward to watching this sort of old school American horror slasher film. I believe it's set in like the bayou of New Orleans. So definitely looking forward to watching that. And I was surprised that I got this edition. I just ordered the generic director's cut, and they sent me what turned out to be the Best Buy exclusive with the cool Hatchet keychain. So yeah, looking forward to watching this. Okay, moving on. Okay, we have Hostel Part 2 from 2007. Now, I already have Hostel, Eli Roth film. I really enjoyed that movie. The more and more I watch it, I like it a lot. I didn't love it at first, but like I said, the more I've seen it, I've liked it more and more. And as for the sequel, I saw it in the theaters when it came out. Um, Not as good as the first one, in my opinion, but I like the sort of the turnaround with the female sort of leg cast this time around. I like the beginning of this movie because it sort of takes off where the last one finishes. What happens to what's his name? This is Jay Hernandez, who was in the first one. What happens to him at the beginning of this movie is pretty cool. And I also love the bloodbath scene. The woman, I believe she was one of their teachers. She takes this bath with the girl hanging above, and she like slices her up and down her back, and eventually slits her throat, and blood just comes gushing out, and she's bathing in it. It was a pretty gruesome scene. Good looking cast, like I said, pretty much all females are the ones in peril. Yeah, Hostel Part 2, not too bad. Never seen the third one, don't really have a desire to be honest. Okay, next we have another blind buy, again, part of my 31 Days of Horror in the upcoming last 10 days or so. And that is Martyrs from 2008. This is probably a bit on the extreme side from my taste. From what I gather, it's a pretty extreme French horror film, but a lot of people on here like it as well. Sort of moving into the more extreme stuff. I don't think I'll ever watch films like a Serbian film or stuff like that, or some of the really hardcore stuff, but I hear this is pretty brutal. So I'm going to be watching this soon as well. Looking forward to watching it. I do like High Tension, which is sort of the first like big French horror film over the past few years, and I haven't seen the others that people talk about, like Frontiers or Inside, I believe it's called. But looking forward to watching this. Okay, moving on. Next we have Quarantine from 2008. Now I saw this in the theaters as well. I enjoyed this movie. I thought Jennifer Carpenter was very good. I really liked her in The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And this movie set in a Los Angeles apartment complex. They get sort of shut in, locked in by the military as a viral outbreak sort of happens within the walls of this apartment complex. Good little movie, but I hear it's based on a Spanish film, and that would be Rec from 2007, or REC, or whatever you want to call it. Like a year ago, I came like third place in a contest held by my man Jesse, aka A Demented Domain. His link will be in the description. Jesse, great horror fan here on YouTube, and he sent me Rec 2, which I obviously have not watched yet because I still have not seen the first one. So I decided to pick this up. I already have Rec 2 sitting on the shelves. I'm planning on watching both of them back to back for my 31 Days of Horror. So yeah, watching both this and the sequel, Rec and Rec 2. I haven't seen either. Spanish horror films that Quarantine is based on, or an American remake of, something like that. So definitely looking forward to watching these two. And again, thanks Jesse for sending me Rec 2. Finally, I'm going to watch it now. So last but not least, we have another sequel from the 2000s. I'm a big fan of the first one, and that is The Ring 2 from 2005. Now, The Ring that came out in 2002 with Naomi Watts, one of my favorite horror films of the decade as well. I think it's great. Ring 2 was not as good, not nearly as good, to be honest. Still okay. I like Naomi Watts, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say, because I don't really remember the actual details of the film that well. But I loved the first one. Second one wasn't great, but I decided to pick it up. So those are the 10 horror pickups. Little mix of everything here, mostly from the late 2000s. So let me know what you think of these movies, especially the ones that I haven't seen, which I'll be watching in the upcoming weeks. So now onto my bonus, and that is I picked up this. Well, actually it arrived yesterday, and that is my Ted plush, 24-inch Ted plush from the movie, of course. He talks, which you may have seen in the video I posted yesterday. Yeah, before this movie even came out, I knew I was gonna love it, and I knew that I wanted like a plush Ted doll, if you like. So I pre-ordered it, and it arrived yesterday. It didn't come out until like September or something, a few months after the movie. I love the movie Ted. Definitely will pick that up on Blu-ray when that comes out. So that is my Ted plush. If you want to see the video of him talking, the stuff he says, it's the last video I posted. You know how to go up and see what videos I posted. It might be on the side here, if I got that right. Trying to figure out which side my other videos sort of lie on the page. But anyway, that's my update. Thank you for watching, as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.